All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning. I'm Anuja Kumar and with me is Saira Mujtaba. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says freedom from mandi restrictions will benefit farmers. Centre releases first installment of over 19,000 crore rupees for paddy procurement in 3 states under MSP scheme. Paddy procurement touches all-time high of over 32 lakh metric tons in Tamil Nadu. Health Minister Harshvardhan says India is still far away from achieving herd immunity against coronavirus. India's total COVID-19 recovery crosses 50 lakh mark. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to hold virtual bilateral summit with his Danish counterpart today. Nation pays homage to revolutionary freedom fighter Bhagat Singh on his 113th birth anniversary. In our special series on the occasion of the 150th birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi, we begin this bulletin with Bapu Ki Baat. In a speech at Inter-Asian Relations Conference, Mahatma Gandhi had spoken about the villages of India.
And then he described how he found it. I will read all that. I want to connect that story with what I want to say to you, that if you really want to see India at its best, you have to find it in its many parts.
And now the news in details. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that freedom from mandi restrictions will benefit the farmers. In his Mann Ki Baat program yesterday, the Prime Minister said a large number of farmers have benefited from being allowed to sell their produce outside the Agricultural Produce Marketing Committees or mandis. He said in 2014, fruits and vegetables were excluded from the APMC Act, which greatly benefited the farmers. The Prime Minister cited example of farmers from Haryana, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Gujarat and Uttar Pradesh who narrated how they had benefited and made higher profits by selling their produce directly to buyers. Prime Minister Modi said the farmers will now be out of the clutches of the middlemen and will get remunerative prices.
अपने फल सब्जियों को कहीं पर भी किसी को भी बेचने की ताकत है और ये ताकत ही उनकी इस प्रगति का आधार है। अब यही ताकत देश के दूसरे किसानों को भी मिली है। फल सब्जियों के लिए ही नहीं, अपने खेत में वो जो पैदा कर रहे हैं, धान, गेहूं, सरसों, गन्ना जो उगा रहे हैं, उसको अपनी इच्छा के अनुसार जहां ज्यादा दाम मिले वहीं पर बेचने की अब उनको आजादी मिल गई है।
The Prime Minister lauded the farmers for strengthening the country's agricultural sector and said the farm sector played a major role in building a self-reliant India. He added even in this hour of corona crisis, agricultural sector has shown its resilience.
हमारे यहाँ कहा जाता है जो जमीन से जितना जुड़ा होता है वो बड़े से बड़े तूफानों में भी उतना ही अड़िग रहता है। कोरोना के इस कठिन समय में हमारा कृषि क्षेत्र, हमारा किसान इसका जीवंत उदाहरण है। संकट के इस काल में भी हमारे देश के कृषि क्षेत्र ने फिर अपना दमखम दिखाया है। साथियों, देश का कृषि क्षेत्र, हमारे किसान, हमारे गांव आत्मनिर्भर भारत का आधार है। ये मजबूत होंगे तो आत्मनिर्भर भारत की नींव मजबूत होगी।
National Cooperative Development Corporation NCDC has sanctioned the first installment fund of 19,444 crore rupees to 3 states for Kharif paddy procurement under minimum support price operations. These states are Chhattisgarh, Haryana and Telangana. Agriculture Ministry said these amounts have been sanctioned to assist the states and state marketing federations in undertaking paddy procurement operations in a timely manner through their respective cooperative organizations. Chhattisgarh gets the highest amount to the tune of 9,000 crore rupees. Telangana has been sanctioned 5,500 crores and Haryana 5,444 crores. The ministry said this proactive step by NCDC during the COVID pandemic will give the much-needed financial support to farmers of these 3 states who account for nearly 75% of production of paddy in the country. Managing Director NCDC Sandeep Nayak said that in response to the clarion call given by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, NCDC was ready to assist more states in carrying out MSP operations for giving fair value to farmers in the light of the historic farm-related legislations.
In Tamil Nadu, the procurement of paddy from farmers by the government has exceeded all previous years' record, despite the ongoing pandemic. State Food Minister Kamraj said that the figure has reached about 32.24 lakh metric tons so far and is set to go up. The Coimbatore wholesale market in Chennai, considered one of the biggest in Asia, reopened this morning after a gap of about 5 months. It was closed in early May due to the pandemic. More from our correspondent.
The farmers seem to have prevailed over the pandemic as COVID-19 has failed to dampen the agriculture sector. It is more so in the field of paddy cultivation as indicated by the latest data. The State Food Minister Kamraj told reporters at Tiruvarur in the Delta that the paddy procurement this season so far has exceeded 32.24 lakh metric tons. He said this is the highest quantity of paddy procurement from the farmers by the state government. He further said the paddy would possibly fetch more prices from October 1st, as the price for the Kharif season would apply from next month. The inflow of the food grains to the procurement center may further go up from then. Jai Singh, AIR News, Chennai.
The Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan has said that India is still far from achieving herd immunity against COVID-19 and people should continue to follow coronavirus norms laid out by the government. He said that even the soon-to-be-released second Sero survey indicates that we are far from having achieved any kind of herd immunity, which necessitates that all of us should continue following COVID-appropriate behavior. Dr. Harshvardhan was answering questions posed by his social media interactors on the third episode of Sunday Samvad yesterday. Dr. Harshvardhan said that the Indian Council of Medical Research, ICMR, is actively investigating and researching reports of COVID-19 reinfection. He said that although the number of reinfection cases is negligible at this moment, the government is fully seized of the matter. Dr. Harshvardhan stressed that plasma therapy and remdesivir should not be encouraged for COVID-19 treatment. He said that private hospitals have also been advised against routine use of these investigational therapies. The Health Minister said that the government is committed to increasing the public healthcare spending from the existing 1.15% of the GDP to 2.5% by 2025. He added that the 15th Finance Commission's high-level group on health has concurred that healthcare spending must be raised substantially in the next 5 years, keeping in mind the ongoing pandemic. Dr. Harshvardhan stated that states have been advised to lower the prices of COVID tests.
India's total recovery of COVID-19 cases today crossed the landmark milestone of 50 lakh. In a tweet, the Health Ministry said the rise from 1 lakh in June this year has been steep. The last 10 lakh recoveries were added in just 11 days. The ministry said India has witnessed a very high level of more than 90,000 recoveries every day recently. Recovered cases have outpaced the active cases by more than 5 times. The Health Ministry said the commendable feat has been achieved through enhanced medical infrastructure, implementation of standard treatment protocol, full dedication and commitment of doctors, paramedics and frontline workers. Talking to All India Radio News, Dr. A.K. Varshni of RML Hospital, Delhi, spoke about the precautions to keep ourselves safe from COVID-19 infection, especially in the upcoming winter season. He said people must follow all COVID-related advice like wearing a mask and maintaining physical distancing.
ठंड के मौसम में जो रेस्पिरेटरी वायरस होते हैं उनकी एक्टिविटी बढ़ जाती है और चूंकि ये भी एक रेस्पिरेटरी वायरस है तो ये आगे नवंबर दिसंबर के महीने में इस तरीके से बिहेव करेगा हम ये नहीं जानते. हमें बिल्कुल लापरवाह नहीं होना, संतुष्ट नहीं होना और पूरे जो हमारे सुरक्षा के गार्ड हैं जो हम बार बार सभी लोग उस पर बात करते हैं, चाहे वो माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी हों, चाहे डॉक्टर्स हों, चाहे मीडिया हो, कि हमें मास्क पहन के रहना है. अगर हम बाहर निकलते हैं हमेशा 3 से 6 गज की दूरी बना के रखनी है और अपने हाथों को लगातार साबुन और पानी से धोते रहना है.
You are listening to the morning news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says freedom from mandi restrictions will benefit farmers. Centre releases first installment of over 19,000 crore rupees for paddy procurement in 3 states under MSP scheme. Paddy procurement touches an all-time high of over 32 lakh metric tons in Tamil Nadu. Health Minister Harsh Vardhan says India is still far away from achieving herd immunity against coronavirus. India's total COVID-19 recovery crosses 50 lakh mark. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to hold a virtual bilateral summit with his Danish counterpart today. Nation pays homage to revolutionary freedom fighter Bhagat Singh on his 113th birth anniversary. For quick news updates around the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
A total of 3,292 fresh cases of COVID-19 were recorded in Delhi yesterday, taking the infection tally in the national capital to over 2,71,000. The Delhi government has said that over 2,36,000 people affected with coronavirus have been cured so far. In the last 24 hours, 3,739 people recovered and 42 deaths were reported in the national capital, taking the death toll to 5,235. Presently, the total number of active cases in Delhi is 29,228. In Himachal Pradesh, 195 fresh COVID-19 cases were detected yesterday, taking the tally to 14,191. The death toll due to COVID-19 in the state has risen to 170 with 11 more fatalities. 3 deaths were reported from Shimla, 2 each from Kangra and Mandi, and 1 each from Chamba, Kullu, Solan and Sirmaur. 629 patients recovered yesterday, bringing the total recoveries in the state to 10,339. Currently, 3,657 active cases are being treated in the state.
The Madhya Pradesh government will honour Corona warriors from the medical field in the state capital, Bhopal, today. Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan will present a letter of appreciation to all the doctors and health workers who contributed during the pandemic. More from our correspondent.
The Chief Minister will interact with Corona warriors who contributed a lot in rendering their services in handling the COVID-19 pandemic. The program will be jointly organized by Medical Education and Public Health and Family Welfare Department. The number of COVID-19 cases in the state climbed up to 1,22,000 after 2,310 new cases were reported in the past 24 hours. With 26 patients succumbing to the infection, the death toll rose to 2,207. As per the State Health Bulletin, 2,081 coronavirus patients were discharged from the hospitals in the past 24 hours, taking the number of recovered cases in the state to around 97,571. There are now 22,431 active cases in Madhya Pradesh. Sanjeev Sharma, AIR News, Bhopal.
In Gujarat, the crime branch of Rajkot Police has busted black marketing racket of life-saving remdesivir injections. The police has nabbed 5 people, including a woman, in this connection. The state reported 1,411 new cases of COVID-19 in the last 24 hours. More from our correspondent.
The total cases detected so far in Gujarat have reached up to 1,33,219. With the recovery of 1,231 patients yesterday, the recovery rate has further improved and reached up to 84.93%. Total 1,13,140 patients have been recovered in the state till now. More than 42,32,000 tests have been carried out in the state till date, out of which 60,357 tests were carried out yesterday from Surat. At present, total active cases in the state are 16,660, out of which 86 patients are on ventilator. 10 patients died yesterday, taking the total death due to COVID-19 up to 3,419. Yogesh Pandya, AR News, Ahmedabad.
Maharashtra Home Minister Anil Deshmukh said the Home Department is keeping a close vigil on the health service sector of the state to curb any malpractice. He said the state is taking several measures to keep a check on overcharging by health service providers, which includes sting operations and also launch of a toll-free number for public for registering complaints pertaining to overcharging. More from our correspondent.
Deshmukh said there are many hospitals which are providing services as per government norms. He said the government has taken a note of such socially conscious hospitals, but there are some private hospitals, testing laboratories and plasma laboratories who are looting people. He said officials from FDA, municipal and police administrations will be made to visit private hospitals in Nagpur city from Monday. He said the citizens can also register their complaints at toll-free number 100 or an alternative WhatsApp number. The administration has decided to intensify their effort by introducing a series of new measures, which includes stamping of the infected patient in home quarantine for easing identification and fining them if they are found to be out in public places, 500 rupees fine for anyone not using a mask in public places, and registration of any complaints through toll-free numbers. Devapriya Bhattacharjee, AIR News, Mumbai.
In Karnataka, 9,543 fresh COVID cases were reported yesterday, taking the tally to 5,75,566. On the other hand, 6,522 people recovered from the disease and were discharged. As many as 1,04,724 active patients are taking treatment at various hospitals in the state. 79 COVID patients lost their life, and the total fatalities have gone up to 8,582.
In view of the prevailing pandemic, the Odisha government is launching Radio Pathshala program for students up to class 8 from today. The program will be broadcast on all India radio stations in the state for 15 minutes daily. More from our correspondent.
Even as COVID-19 continues to ride the crest in Odisha, the School and Mass Education Department has come to All India Radio as an effective medium for learning for about 60 lakh students in the government and aided schools across the state. More than 10 Akashvani Kendras in the state will carry the classes between 10 to 10:15 hours daily from Monday to Friday beginning today. The audio of the program will also be made available on the online Diksha platform for the students for whom schools have been kept out of bounds since March this year. The government has already cut the school syllabus down by 30% for 2021 academic session. The government has already cut the school syllabus down by 30% for 2020-21 academic session. Girish Chandra Das, Bhubaneswar.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his Danish counterpart, Mette Frederiksen, will hold a virtual bilateral summit today. An MOU in the field of intellectual property cooperation between the two countries will be signed on the occasion. Our correspondent reports that during the summit, another major outcome will be the joining of International Solar Alliance or ISA by Denmark.
The bilateral summit will give an opportunity to the two leaders to comprehensively review the broad framework of the bilateral relationship in the context of the time-tested friendly ties between the two countries. Bilateral trade in goods and services between India and Denmark has grown over 30% to $3.68 billion in 2019. Around 200 Danish companies have invested in India in different sectors, including shipping, renewable energy, environment, agriculture, food processing, and smart urban development. Several major Danish companies have built new manufacturing factories under the Make in India scheme. Around 25 Indian companies are also present in Denmark in IT, renewable energy and engineering. With Dipendra Kumar, Suparna Saikia, AIR News, Delhi.
The nation pays homage to the revolutionary freedom fighter Bhagat Singh on his 113th birth anniversary today. It was on this day in 1907 that Bhagat Singh was born in Banga village of Lyalpur district of undivided Punjab province. He fought against the British rule for the country's independence and was hanged in Lahore jail at the age of 23 along with Rajguru and Sukhdev. Prime Minister Narendra Modi paid tribute to Bhagat Singh and highlighted his contributions to India's freedom struggle. In his Mann Ki Baat program yesterday, the Prime Minister described the great freedom fighter as a symbol of bravery and courage. Prime Minister Modi said another beautiful aspect of Shahid Bhagat Singh's life was that he very well understood the importance of teamwork, be it dedication towards Lala Lajpat Rai or his attachment with Chandrasekhar Azad, Sukhdev and Rajguru and other freedom fighters.
मैं समस्त देशवासियों के साथ साहस और वीरता की प्रतिमूर्ति शहीद वीर भगत सिंह को नमन करता हूँ। शहीद भगत सिंह पराक्रमी होने के साथ साथ विद्वान भी थे, चिंतक थे। अपने जीवन की चिंता किए बगैर भगत सिंह और उनके क्रांतिवीर साथियों ने ऐसे साहसिक कार्यों को अंजाम दिया जिनका देश की आजादी में बहुत बड़ा योगदान रहा।
Home Minister Amit Shah paid a tribute to freedom fighter Shahid Bhagat Singh on his birth anniversary. In a tweet, the Home Minister expressed his gratitude to Shahid Bhagat Singh, who gave a new direction to freedom struggle through his revolutionary ideas and supreme sacrifice, and awakened resolve of independence amongst the youth of the country. The Home Minister said, Bhagat Singh will always remain a source of inspiration for everyone.
The BJP President JP Nadda paid a tribute to Shahid Bhagat Singh on his birth anniversary. In a tweet, the BJP President said that he was a great revolutionary freedom fighter who raised his voice against the British rule at a young age. He said the stories of Bhagat Singh's indomitable courage and valor still awaken patriotism in the youth. The Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar has also paid a tribute to Shahid Bhagat Singh on his birth anniversary. On to sports now. In tennis, top-seeded Simona Halep won 10 straight games. She defeated Sara Sorribes-Tormo 6-4, 6-0 to reach the second round of the French Open last night and extend her winning streak to 15 matches. Now she next faces Irina Camelia Begu of Romania. Irina beat Gilles Teichmann of Spain by 6-4, 4-6, 6-3. The 10th-seeded Victoria Azarenka beat Danka Kovinic of Montenegro 6-1, 6-2 in the opening match. She next faces Anna Karolina Shmidilova, who won 6-4, 6-4 against American veteran Venus Williams. 40-year-old Williams exited in the first round at Roland Garros for the third straight year. In the men's singles, former world number 1 Andy Murray has lost in straight sets to Stan Wawrinka in the first round. US Open runner-up 6th-seeded Alexander Zverev overcame a slow start to launch his challenge with a 7-5, 6-2, 6-4 victory over Austrian Denis Novak. Earlier, the final Grand Slam of the year, the French Open got off in Paris yesterday with many changes in place amidst the ongoing pandemic.
In IPL cricket, Rajasthan Royals recorded the highest run chase in the history of the tournament to beat Kings 11 Punjab by 4 wickets in a high-scoring encounter at Sharjah last night. Put into bat first, Mayank Agarwal smashed a 50-ball 106, while skipper KL Rahul cracked a 54-ball 69 as the duo stitched a 183-run opening stand off 99 balls to power Punjab to an imposing 223 for 2. It was Rahul Tewatia who turned hero when he smashed 5 sixes in the 18th over off Sheldon Cottrell to turn the match on his side. He scored a 31-ball 53. Rajasthan chased down the target for the loss of 6 wickets in 19.3 overs. Earlier, Rajasthan won the toss and elected to field. In today's fixture, Royal Challengers Bangalore will take on Mumbai Indians at Dubai. In some more news, India's largest power producer NTPC Limited has invited bids for procurement of biomass pellets for its various thermal plants as part of its endeavour to reduce burning of crop residue on farmlands that cause air pollution. The power producer has envisaged consumption of 5 million tons of pellets in the current year at its 17 power plants including NTPC Korba, Chhattisgarh, NTPC Farakka, West Bengal, NTPC Dadri, Uttar Pradesh, NTPC Kugli, Karnataka, and NTPC Rihand, Uttar Pradesh. In a statement, NTPC Limited said it had first undertaken this unique initiative on pilot basis in 2017 for biomass co-firing by replacing some of the coal with pellet-based fuel at NTPC Dadri, Uttar Pradesh. Post-successful implementation, NTPC now plans to replicate the model in 17 of its state-of-the-art plants.
In some international news, UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres today called on Armenia and Azerbaijan to immediately stop fighting, de-escalate tensions and return to meaningful negotiations without delay. In a statement, the UN chief will be speaking to both the President of Azerbaijan and the Prime Minister of Armenia. Mr. Guterres said that he was extremely concerned about the resumption of armed hostilities, condemning the use of force and regretting casualties, including among the civilian population. Mr. Guterres further acknowledged the important role of the OSCE Minsk Group co-chairs France, Russia and the US. He called on the conflict parties to cooperate with them towards an urgent resumption of dialogue without preconditions. Fighting erupted anew today between Armenian and Azerbaijani forces over the region of Nagorno-Karabakh, A top territorial official said that 16 people were killed and more than 100 wounded, while Azerbaijan's President Ilham Aliyev said his military has suffered losses. The Azerbaijani president ordered martial law be imposed in some regions of the country and called for a curfew in major cities.
Back home, an earthquake measuring 5.1 on Richter scale hit Leh in Ladakh last night. Met Department informed the earthquake hit the region at 10:57 p.m. at a depth of 10 km. It shook the Leh region and the tremors were felt strong in Nubra, Karakoram and Lalok areas in Leh. Kargil also felt the tremors. So far, no reports of damage were received from any parts of Ladakh. Since 22nd of September, this is the fourth time an earthquake occurred with an intensity ranging between 3.7 to 5.4 on Richter scale in Ladakh region. Now let us take a look at the weather update for the day. The national capital Delhi will have mainly clear sky. The minimum temperature was recorded at 23 degrees Celsius and maximum is expected to be around 36 degrees. Mumbai will see a generally cloudy sky with light rain. The minimum temperature was 26 degrees Celsius and the maximum will be around 32. Chennai will see a generally cloudy sky with light rain. The temperature is likely to hover between 27 and 33. Kolkata will see a partly cloudy sky with possibility of moderate rain or thunderstorm. The minimum temperature in the metropolis was 27 degrees Celsius, while the maximum is expected to be around 34 degrees. In the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, the minimum temperature was 22 in Jammu, while the maximum will be around 30. In Srinagar, the minimum temperature was around 8, while the maximum will be 27 degrees. The city will see a mainly clear sky, becoming partly cloudy. Ladakh will have mainly clear sky. The temperature is likely to hover between 5 and 24 degrees Celsius. In Gilgit, the temperature is likely to hover between 12 and 26. It will see a partly cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm. Muzaffarabad will see a mainly clear sky becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. The temperature is likely to hover between 14 and 29 degrees Celsius.
And now an overview of today's newspapers. Strongly defending the farm bills in his radio address, the Prime Minister says grain producers will benefit from increased freedom. The top headline in Hindustan Times writes, Modi reaches out to farmers amid anger. India still far from herd immunity, reports The Hindu, quoting the Health Minister. While the Times of India says, cases now at 6 million jump takes day more than previous. Indian Army deploys T-90, T-72 tanks in Ladakh forward areas, reports the Asian Age, as these tanks have the ability to operate even at minus 40 degrees Celsius. The pandemic has accelerated the shift to linking pay with performance, cites the Financial Express under the headline, More variable pay to be the new norm. A Tribune headline observes, 8,000 nodal officers to check farm fires in Punjab, as reports of straw burning pour in from the state. Vajpayee's Man Friday, Jaswant Singh no more, writes the Pioneer, on passing away of the former Union Minister who was confined to bed for the past 6 years after a head injury. And finally, WhatsApp leaks, users jump ship and bought Telegram, notes the Economic Times, as the business leaders and professionals are shifting to Telegram after WhatsApp chat leaks in course of a celebrity investigative probe.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says freedom from mandi restrictions will benefit farmers. Centre releases first installment of over 19,000 crore rupees for paddy procurement in 3 states under MSP scheme. Paddy procurement touches an all-time high of over 32 lakh metric tons in Tamil Nadu. Health Minister Harshvardhan says India is still far away from achieving herd immunity against coronavirus. India's total COVID-19 recovery crosses 50 lakh mark. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to hold virtual bilateral summit with his Danish counterpart today. And nation pays homage to revolutionary freedom fighter Bhagat Singh on his 113th birth anniversary. We now bring you a rendition of Bapu's favorite bhajan, Vaishnav Janto, sung by artists from Germany. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.